This interview is for information only and should not be considered as investment advice or a recommendation to buy shares in the company featured. Welcome to this StockBox interview.
Well, today I'm joined by Charlie Long, Chief Executive at Critical Mineral Resources. Charlie, it's great to have you back on. It feels like it's a little while since we last spoke. How are you doing?
Very well, yeah, thank you. It has been a while, I think, so that's probably why. Lots of things happen in a short period of time.
Absolutely, yeah. It seems like it's very much all systems go in Morocco at the moment. You've released a number of updates since you were last on, and the first I want to focus on is the appointment of Jero as your new chairman. Can you tell us about the appointment and what he brings to the company at this stage?
Yeah, I think this stage is a key thing. We're in a new phase now where we're sort of gearing up to the mine build, and we have, we need more people, and I think we're very, very lucky to have Jero. He's got fantastic North African experience for BP and Rio, and a lot of Moroccan experience in recent times. So last year he was very involved in a project in Morocco. He has, big project building experience as well, starting off small and ending up with construction. And one of the things he did in Senegal for BP was there's a big offshore gas project there. And when he arrived, it was very small, and by the time he was done, it was under construction. And so he's got that ability to, I guess, he understands different stakeholders and relationships. So he has, not only does he have a fantastic network in Morocco and around North Africa, but he understands the value, and he can deliver those relationships with investors, with different departments in the government, with other stakeholders throughout the sort of process. So we're already starting, he's already introducing us to different potential investors, and getting that relationship in place so that when we get to the point of funding the mine build, they're already part of the project, because that we keep them updated. It's that sort of thing, but also fantastic experience within the Moroccan government and the Moroccan Ministry of it used to be the oil and gas and mining sort of ministry, but now it's sort of transition and sustainable development, but it manages mining and oil. So those relationships are absolutely key. And he's got a huge amount of energy. He's a lovely guy. He's a great salesman. So he compliments me quite well, or very well. And he's a great fit for the team. So everyone, enjoys spending time with him. And that's really important, because CMR is about, we want to do things correctly, but we want to have fun doing it.
No, definitely. It sounds great. So alongside the appointment, you also have completed a few weeks back an oversubscribed fundraise to accelerate drilling at the copper project. And in a recent up, you mentioned a target of around 20 holes per month with 2 rigs now turning. So it sounds like drilling has really stepped up in pace. Is the focus now on, powering forward and maintaining that momentum as you work towards delivering that maiden resource estimate?
Absolutely. It's drilling and adapting where we drill, when we drill, drilling the good bits, finding the bits that aren't good. I mean, the way Nurdine puts it is, every drill, and not just Nurdine, but every drill tells you something. You want to know where the grades are low or they've gone. You need to know that, because you obviously don't want to be mining there. So it's very much a case of drilling as much as we can, as cleverly as we can. We're looking at geophysics as well, to help us target those hidden areas, and get to a decent maiden resource in Q3, or I think we'll have a resource internally as we go, and then to get it JORCed, we'll use a JORC consultancy, and that will take a little bit of extra time that we can't fully control. But sort of mid-year we'll be there. But I would say that the size of that resource is depending on how many holes we do. And it might be that we've drilled like 2.5% of the property. And as you know, you may know, we're buying more ground around our existing permits. So actually, we might be 2.5% of our existing permits, but once we bought some more ground, it might go back down to 1%. So our resource, maybe it would be more than 1%, but let's say it's 2.5% of our portfolio at sort of mid-year. It doesn't reflect the potential scale of the project. It just reflects how much we've drilled. And drilling is ramping up as we speak. What I didn't speak to the market much about was that the dreadful weather we had in Morocco in December and in January, which can be looked up. Nurdin was saying he's never seen weather like it. Thick snow at Agadir Malul, and then when it's not snowing, lots of rain. And it blows a hoolie at Agadir Malul. So they don't, when it's like 5 degrees and blowing 40 kilometers an hour, the guys aren't working. So, but now the weather is good. And so it's kind of now that we're ramping up the drilling. And so, things get delayed. The thing with the market is you don't want to say, oh, it's snowing, because some people have got such a short term investment horizon. They're like, oh, well, that's really bad news. And so you don't know what to say. It should be, if it was a normal place, a normal environment, you could just say how it is, and you wouldn't have to worry about it. But such as the market, that's not always possible. So everything is really good. We're drilling now with 2 rigs. We'll ramp up to 2 shifts on the 1st of March. And then, hopefully we'll be doing more than 20 holes by sort of mid-March, and building resources. Yeah.
Great. So with those 2 rigs operating, are they both, in the same area, or do you have one perhaps on that initial resource area and one looking out into the new areas? I mean, does having 2 give you a bit more flexibility when it comes to assessing the overall project?
Definitely, yeah. We've got one at zone 1, sort of central, instead of zone 1 north. That's our rig, and then the contractor rig's at zone 2 south. But it's such a large area, and we need to, drill other areas too. We're also thinking about drilling some of the veins. So we've got some nice, I want to say high grade, but definitely like decent grade vein systems as well, and sort of shear zones. So we're looking at a third. So our joint venture partner's got like a sort of rotor. It's like a funny rig that does holes for drilling and blasting. So it does a small hole, and it only goes like 30 meters, and it's not great in terms of getting all the material out of the hole and being able to sample every meter, but it does give you a feel for grade and shows you if there is grade. So we're thinking about commissioning that, fixing it, and having that going around and doing some scout drilling on some veins. But we'll just see. We'll hopefully that will happen, and that will provide some other news flow from different parts of the property, because we've got quite a big property now, which is growing, and it's a large area. And if you go there, you'll realise that a rig can only really do a small bit. So 2 rigs drilling different parts of the property, and potentially a 3rd rig, this little rig. It's not really going to add resources. It's more like testing targets.
Right. Looking ahead, while the Maiden resource will obviously be a major milestone, can we expect regular updates from the field in the meantime as drilling continues and the project progresses?
Yeah, I mean, as we've said in our presentation, which is on the website, and I'm not, maybe we've said it in announcements too, but there's quite a lot of milestones coming this year. So there's acquisitions. We expect to get the mining license at some point relatively soon. And then once the drill results come, I think people expect the drill results a bit sooner than they are, because we have had a bit of a shutdown over Christmas, which is longer than normal. Although this is the first winter we've been through, it's definitely a bad one, but great for Morocco, because they had a bit of a drought, and I think their reservoirs were like at 25%, and now they're maybe 60% or more. So, and the drought is over. So that is good news for Morocco, but it was a bit of a slow, few weeks for us. But once those drill results start coming through, they'll be quite regular and quite frequent. But as I say, there's lots of other news to come, and actually with Gero on board, he's doing some business development work that's going to create news flow, we hope. So yeah, it's going to be a good year.
Great. Well, it sounds like it's a very exciting period for the company, and we'll certainly be watching developments closely. Charlie, thank you very much again for your time today, and I look forward to catching up again soon.
It's a pleasure.
If you enjoyed this interview, then give us a thumbs up, a like or a retweet. Subscribe to us on YouTube or follow us on Twitter, and hit that notification bell to be the first to know when we release new content. There's loads of great content on our website too, across all our programs at stockboxmedia.com. Thank you for watching.